Oh, I'm so glad to be out of there. I've never in my life felt so out of touch with everything going on. I just can't wait to get... Brad, no, not now. No, you cannot. I told you to wait. I am not ready. It's bad enough this is my first day working here. I told you to wait. They've allowed... Do not push them back out the door. They've allowed me to use this room for 1 hour. This break room is mine, and I'm going to teach this class. But I told you not to bring them back here yet. Distract them with, I don't know, eyeliner or something. Oh, look over there. It's Chanel number 5. Oh. Well, I'm somewhat back to normal. Yes, bring them in. I'll explain. Don't worry. Just bring them in. Hey, everybody, come in. It's so nice to see you. It's so great to have a new class. Yes, now I do have to apologize for the conditions here. I know this is a little primitive and rustic. It's probably not what you expected. Although, I have to say, you know, you are getting this very, very high class at a reduced price. So you may have to expect a few modifications. I will explain what that was about. So just make yourselves comfortable. I know these seats are not terribly comfortable. They're hard bench seats. But if you want to be a sparkly friend, sometimes you have to sit on something hard. So just get comfortable. Here's a little bonus tip for you. If you want to be a special sparkly friend, you want to appear comfortable no matter how you feel. So a good way to practice is by sitting on Legos or walking on Legos with a smile. You know, like for example, if someone expected you to, do cartwheels across their courtyard, you might land on a rock. You don't want to stop smiling because with our special moneyed friends, we want to make sure that things are always joyful because any minute could be their last and time may be running out. So, I guess you're wondering why I might have looked a little different when you first came in the room when Brad was supposed to keep you out because I wasn't ready yet. That's 10 demerits, Brad. I owe you for that camera thing though, so we're even. Well, I have to say I have not been in town for a while other than to do some volunteer work, otherwise known as community service, because there was a huge misunderstanding. Okay, this goes back to July, early July. I have been away. I would like to say that I've been vacationing, but that would not be entirely accurate. See, I was set to wed my special moneyed friend on Independence Day, and it was truly going to be independence. Oh my goodness, as I always say, wealthy men need friends too, and they get just as lonely as anyone else. So I don't see any harm in, making special friends with some of our elderly gentlemen in the community. So I made a friend. I think his name was Carl. And he was so lovely. I met him at Winsome Willows, which is where old money goes to die. And we formed a special bond over the week that we knew one another. And we were said to be married on Independence Day and the night before, July 3rd. We had a little tiff, and his maid, Claire, heard us arguing, and she made a big deal out of it. She heard me say, according to her, "Carl, I'm going to kill you." Okay, she took that out of context. I did not mean that. When I said I was going to kill him, I didn't mean literally. I meant I was going to smother him with kindness. I was going to stab him with love. And she took it out of context. And then the next morning, she came in to check on him, and he was a little bit deceased, or so it appeared. And then, of course, she calls the police. They come out. The ambulance comes out. The medics come, and and they check him over, and everyone declared that he was dead. And I said, he's not dead. He just appears to be mildly deceased from time to time. You're making a big fuss out of nothing. Well, then they tried to say I, murdered him, which is ridiculous. Exactly, Brad. Thank you. Fortunately, thanks to Brad, the week before, well, actually, it wasn't that long. It was like 2 days before. He had some cameras installed in the bedroom. Don't worry about why they were there. It's totally irrelevant. Had some cameras installed. And the camera showed everything that happened the night before. Unfortunately, the footage was not presented until I was already, unfortunately, incarcerated, which explains the jumpsuit, which I am now free of. Thank goodness. And I am back in fighting form. I have already been to a competition, although I was supposed to be working at the library. Don't tell anybody about that. I was supposed to be at the library. But we had a Sparkly Friend competition, and I will tell you about that a little bit. Anyway, we had cameras in there. And I feel like a new woman. I feel energized. I feel rejuvenated by this. The camera footage showed the night before that I made his Metamucil smoothie like I always do. Made his Metamucil smoothie. And I made a little boo-boo. I mean, we all make mistakes. My attorney pointed this out, that no one is perfect. We all screw up from time to time. Instead of putting the banana in there, I messed up and put a little dilaudid in there. Not a lot. It was just a half a cup or so. And it caused him to just become sort of a little bit more deceased than normal. He can lie motionless for long periods of time. He's like a lizard on a heat rock. And he has these unblinking eyes. They're adorable. They're all soulless and black like a shark's when he gets in these trances. Isn't he cute? But don't contribute if you can't say anything nice. He was like that. And you could see him in the video that he laid there all night with his dead, soulless eyes. And of course, as his doting wife-to-be, I was right there with him, scrolling through my phone and, just checking to see if any other moneyed gentleman in the area might have needed a friend or two. Only looking out for you guys. I certainly was not looking for myself because I was very happy. Yes, I was happy. Brad, go shop for something. Okay? Just stay away from the manager because she's already irritated with me. So don't irritate her. Okay? Just shop for something. Spend some money. I already did. I have some things to show you with a discount. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm a new woman, but at the same time, it's just a lot at once. Okay? I've been through a lot. I lost my special moneyed friend. Oh no, he's not dead. No, it's like I said, he was only sort of deceased. He was mildly deceased, not really. So in the video, it shows the next morning that I get up and I kissed him on the forehead. Now, if he had been actually deceased, I would have noticed that he felt cold, like room temperature. He didn't. He was warm because it's like the lizard on the heat rock, like the heat lamp overhead. He just stays warm all the time. It's really weird. And so, but then when Claire came in there, she freaks out. She was looking for any excuse to come between Carl and me. Anything she could find. And she calls everybody. She acts like she's completely freaking out. Oh, it's so nice to have painted nails again. Oh my goodness. Don't get me started on the selection of nail polish in prison. It's sad. And then you have to trade for it, and don't ask what I had to trade for nail polish that was even, minimally acceptable. And Brad brought me this. But I don't need a drink. I'm fine. Can I finish? All right. So Claire was very happy because Claire has been wanting to get her little nail-bitten stubs into Carl forever, as far as I know. She seems to have quite a history with him. So she was more than happy to testify against me and say that we had only known one another for a week, as if that matters. I mean, true love doesn't wait, especially when one of the people in love is 148 years old. You can't wait. You have to strike while the iron is hot and before they become like 100% deceased. And then I would be the queen of Copperhead Estate. Yet here I am working at Arbre à Dollar. Dollar Tree. That's only what they call it in other countries, okay? You have to use the original pronunciation. You didn't say it right. Say it correctly. I do not work at Dollar Tree, okay? I would not work there. I work at Arbre à Dollar. I had been in prison for quite some time, and apparently, since there was still some question about toxicology reports and other things that I don't understand, my attorney tried to explain it to me, and then he just sounded like a buzzing sound like the adults in the Charlie Brown cartoons. I said, look, just cut to the chase. When do I get out of here? And she said, I don't know, which is not helpful. I totally understood that, but it was not helpful. So anyway, he was lying on a slab in the morgue, and I can only imagine how shocking it was to the morgue technician when he just sat up and started talking and demanding his oat bran and wanting to know where I was. That's true love. He comes out of his semi-deceased state and he asks for oat bran and then me, like his two favorite things in the world. And that's what he asked for. I want my oat bran. And where's that sparkly lady? That was me, because nobody in this town sparkles except me. After I get done teaching you guys, you can be sparkly as well. So normally I'm dressed a little differently, but see, while I was in prison, Claire got her little nubs into Carl, and she was able to convince him that I was... You know what she called me? She called me a gold digger. She did. She said I was digging for gold with him. Now, do I look like the type that would do that? God, I was so angry I popped 2 nails off without even trying. And at least I had time to grow them back. She managed to convince him. She poisoned his mind, was able to convince him that I was a horrible person. I was only after his money. Can you imagine that? Like, I don't care about his money and his 15-car garage and his rolling hills and estates and show horses and silver and gold, stocks and bonds, and I don't care about any of that stuff. No. I don't care about any of it. So at any rate, he sent me a letter while I was in prison because he's still not aware that there's any other way to communicate. I think he was born before there were phones. So he sends me this letter. I think they had paper when he was born. He sent me a letter and said, Dear sparkly lady, I'm sorry you're in prison. I'm alive, but I don't want to marry you anymore. Claire says I love her, so we're getting married. And he wouldn't respond. I tried to call, tried to talk to him. He won't talk to me. So I've been dumped. First time in my life. Normally they just die out from under me. This one died a little bit and then dumped me. While I was in prison, I mean, I was having to do work release and stuff like that. I was doing stuff at the library. And that's when I got the letter. So fortunately, after we had to go through some paperwork and red tape. It took a little while. Finally, today I was released. And I'm so glad that I can start to rebuild my life step by step. I'm going to start with you guys because it's a new year and it's going to be a new outlook, a new perspective. And after the competition I was involved in, I feel especially great. Look, I got this jacket for performing. I got a shirt. And look what I won. Now, they don't give these to just anybody. It's on point. Do you see the diamond up here? Yes, look at that. You know it says platinum up here. So you know it's good. What did I win it for? Don't worry about that. Let's just say I was the best at it. I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud of my accomplishments. I'm glad I was able to participate. Like I said, I was supposed to be doing work at the library. This grouchy lady worked there, and I told her that I wanted to give her a makeover, and she said, "Dear God, anything but that." And then she shooed me away. And so I took that opportunity to dash out and go to the competition, and I won my trophy. So even if I can't get any of my belongings from Copperhead Estate, at least I have this. And my shiny jacket. Oh, I don't have any of my gowns. I don't have my jewels. Don't tell anyone. Some of these diamonds are not real. Some of them are fake because I don't have enough money to get all real ones anymore. I don't know how I'm going to live like this, having to use fake diamonds. But it's going to be okay. Brad is still with me, although now he's shopping in the store or something. That's fine, as long as he's not bringing people in when I'm not ready for them. It's a new year, it's a new me. Although I have to tell you about a very strange thing that happened. While I was working at the library, this strange little man came up to me. He looked like a cross between John Denver and Justin Bieber. Came up to me and started making some kind of speech, although he couldn't really look at me, and he had his hands full of all these little parcels. I wasn't really sure what it was about. I thought it was a prank. And then he said his name was Carl, and I almost fainted. I thought it was like the ghost of my beloved. Like maybe he had actually died. And then I was going to be really upset because we hadn't even signed anything yet. Normally, you know, when my beloved passes away, I have different emotions. But this man comes up to me and he has all these packages and he's making this weird rambling speech about his mother and how he's been looking for true love and that I was his true love. And I'm going, I don't think so. Pretty sure I'm not. Because you're just not. You're not. You wrap things in newspaper and I don't know what you want. He made me open all of these strange presents that he purchased for me somewhere. And then he said that we were a couple. And that's when I told him to go away. And the grumpy librarian came over there and asked him why he was making such a ruckus. And then he tried to hit on her. Like he just completely rebounded. Like he just totally forgot me. And then he starts batting his weird little eyelashes at her. And then the grumpy librarian just picked him up and stuffed him in a waste paper basket. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And I thought it was still had something to do with my Carl from Copperhead Estate. You know, the moneyed one that I was supposed to be married to. And now I'm just not. And so I thought it was very cruel of the universe to send me such a strange man that was of no use to me. And so, but you know, I learned something from him. He got up, he took that waste paper basket off of his head, he picked up all the trash that fell out, he put it back in the can, and he picked up his little gifts, and he just squared his shoulders, and he just walked on out. He was like the coyote in the Roadrunner and Coyote cartoons. Like all the times he gets flattened and blasted and squashed and stuff dropped on him and terrible things happen. He just gets up and he's right back at it. You know, it fades to black and then he comes back and he's got another plan. And that man, that weird little man, was such an inspiration to me. I immediately got on the phone to Brad. I said, Brad, we've got to get classes going. We've got to do this. I mean, life can hand me all this garbage at once. Like, all this stuff is like the junk jewelry of the universe is what has happened to me. I had to get up and move on with my life. So I don't have any sparkly dresses right now. I don't even have real diamonds at this point. But I'm going to teach a wonderful class for you guys today at a reduced rate because we are here in this unfortunate break room of Alva Atollah. It's not pronounced Dollar Tree. And I want to help you with something. I think our first lesson today is going to be receiving gifts. Now you might say to yourself, why would that be something I have to learn? Anyone can receive gifts. I would think we need to learn more about giving gifts than receiving gifts. That's actually not true. It's easy to give gifts because, see, when you're a sparkly friend, well, there are gifts you can give that you don't go to a store to find. I don't have to tell you how to do that, although if you do require assistance, that would be a special class, an extra fee that we would not be doing here. Yeah, maybe one day you'll get a trophy. We're going to talk about receiving gifts because sometimes when we go to meet some of our moneyed potential friends, you will find that there are very odd gift givers in the bunch. And that's what threw me off about the strange man in the library. I thought maybe this is a moneyed friend who just doesn't know how to give gifts. And sometimes I think they do it to try to trick you, to make you, to make you think that they don't have any money. They actually do. Now, one way to know for sure is where you find them. I'm going to take you to the Winsome Willows, which, as luck would have it, is just 1 block away from this store. And the little shuttle comes from the Winsome Willows, and it comes over here every day, and they come over here and shop. So, I have a constant stream of potential friends coming in here to purchase little things for themselves. See, that's the funny thing. A lot of these moneyed gentlemen don't like to spend much money on themselves, so they really like the Agua Atola because everything here is only $1. $1. That's right. Yes, I am a new employee here. As I said, I'm trying to get back on my feet. I had to become employed, and I thought, what better place to do it than a place where, a lot of our friends might come. I would have gotten a job at Winsome Willows, but I have a little bad experience or two with them, and I'm not allowed to work there anymore. I can't even work there as a candy striper anymore. I can't even volunteer to come in and read to them or, just do volunteer work. Don't ask why. It involves glitter and a saddle, and that's all I'm going to say. So, but here I can still see them, and they can see me. That's the best part. So, you go to Winsome Willows. You know that you're meeting moneyed friends, potential friends. And the world is full of potential friends. So why not make a wealthy one? So let's say you have met your friend at the Winsome Willows, and I can help you pick them out. I don't mind doing that. If I'm consulting for you, I will help you pick these people. Because you look for a scent. I find that the ones that are closer to death smell different. So you learn to train your nose for that. And, follow your nose, perhaps. It always knows. Well, we do what we can to help those who are elderly and at death's doorstep. We want to make life good for them. We want to make them happy, right? That's what it's all about. That's what being a sparkly friend is about. We're certainly not in it for the money or any kind of financial gain. I mean, that's insulting, quite frankly. I feel that what we do is a service to mankind. We're helping the community get stronger. Like this motion here just indicates strength somehow. We're doing that for our world, and I think we should be celebrated personally. I don't see why we're looked down upon. I don't get it. So, all right, so let's say that your friend likes you and wants to give you something. Now, what is the first thing you should say when they hand you a gift? Thank you? No, you don't. No, you say, oh, you remembered. And then do this right here. They love this. Just sort of, you're highlighting your bosom a little bit. Normally I have on something that's different. It's more cleavagey. It's not a t-shirt. Oh, you remembered. Practice that for me. Do this because you need just a moment of pop in your eyes of surprise, like, and then do this. Oh, you remembered. And then let your mouth kind of gape open for a second, like a Cupid doll. And then you want to show off your perfectly manicured nails. Reach in slow motion because usually their eyes have a little bit of trouble adjusting. They may have cataracts. Reach slowly. Don't want to make too many sudden movements. We don't want to jar them too much. Well, depending on what we're doing. That's later. So we're going to take the gift and say, oh my goodness, something like that. And you want to repeat that you remembered thing because you are teasing them to ask you remembered what, and they may actually ask you that. It depends on where they are mentally. Otherwise, they might just play along like, oh, of course I remembered, and they're going to have no idea what you're talking about because chances are you just met them, but they may not know that. And it's a good way to check their ability to really grasp what's going on. I find it's very useful. So, like, all right here, we have a bag. Now, this bag is available for purchase here in the store. I actually bought this here, and in case you don't know what it is, it tells you right here that it's a tote bag. Your tote's amazing. So, let's say that you are my friend. Now, hold the bag. Okay, now, offer it to me. You remembered. And then I'm going to pretend to open it like this. Oh my goodness. I can't believe you remembered. Oh, and at this point you're going to say, thank you so much. And then you can, if they don't ask or they're not getting it, that's when you can say something like, I thought you had forgotten. And then you can actually act like you're tearing up if they can see. Now, if their vision is bad, don't waste a tear on them because it's, it's for effect. But if they can't see, don't bother. So at that point, you have to decide now, do you want to be their girlfriend or do you want to be their fiancé? You probably need to suss out the family situation first. Are they married? Well, we will vet them before that. I will know if they're married or not. I would certainly never send you out to scout anyone that's married because that's a waste of time. Not because we're in it for the money, but because if they're already married, they're not looking for a special friend. They should already have a special friend. Plus, if you sign anything, it's not going to be valid. But that's not the point. The point is they already have someone, and they don't need us. We need to move on to those who don't have anyone in their life, preferably no family either. That's good too, because then you avoid any messy disputes after, they're pushing up daisies. You want to avoid that. So you could say, it's our anniversary. Oh my goodness. It's our anniversary of our first date. It was a year ago today. And still no ring on that all-important finger. What's that? Oh, you want to go ring shopping? Oh, but no, he wasn't asking for tapioca. He was asking to go somewhere with me later. We could take a ride in my Vette. My Chevette. Because I have nothing left. So, you see how I'm kind of moving the conversation along? You have to kind of take these money gentlemen, kind of take them by the hand, literally or figuratively. You have to take them by the hand and just kind of guide them along the path to happiness because we know how to make them happy. We know what's best for them. And if it involves, signing over stuff, rewriting wills and checking state law for things, it's worth it. I figure it's totally worth it. Okay, now we would love it if our moneyed friends would give us something like, I don't know, a ring from Tiffany or, a new car or a house or a fancy trip somewhere. But unfortunately, a lot of times you're going to get, I hate to say it, you're going to get chintzy gifts. You're going to get really kind of weird gifts. Like, for example, let's say you're visiting your new friend at the Winsome Willows and they give you this because Valentine's Day is coming up and that's a wonderful gift-giving opportunity. You may get something like this. Now, say I am your special friend and I offer you this gift basket. What would you say about this? Okay, go ahead and do the thing I showed you. Now slowly reach for it. All right, now tell me what you would say. No, 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 no. Give it back, give it back, give it back. Now, it's not a bad try for your first time. Totally not, but that's why you guys are here. That's why you're here to learn a thing. What is it, Brad? That what? I don't need eyeliner from the store, Brad. I'm not that bad off, okay? I can still afford to at least go to Sephora or something. I may have stuffed a little money in my shoe on the way out the door. Maybe. I'm fine, Brad. Thank you. Do you want to sit in on this class? We're doing gift receiving. No. See, he's back with Dad, so he's already happy. It's nice to see that someone's happy at least. Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. That's why I have a job here. I'm having to stay with them right now. It's a little uncomfortable. They're making me sleep on the couch. Can you imagine? I'm used to sleeping in a giant heart-shaped bed, and they're making me sleep on the couch. And they have this dog that looks me in the face, and it's so annoying. It's not your problem. I'm sorry. Let me get back to this. I'm going to be back at the top of my empire again. I'm going to overcome this. I know I am. Because one day that door is going to open and that little bell is going to ding and in is going to walk my new moneyed friend. And I always have to have this beautiful smile ready for him. Because you never know who it's going to be. If you were given a gift like this from your friend, you want to make sure that you admire everything in here. And you want to start with the cutest thing, okay? Obviously, this little sloth is the cutest thing here. Slow cute. It's a little play on words because it sounds like so cute. The first thing you want to do, though, is say, look at the cute little sloth. Oh, my goodness. I just want to give it a big hug. It's so adorable. Now you do see that this is tied up here and it's very loud and crinkly. And sometimes if you handle things that have the stiff crinkles, it messes with their hearing aids and it can make that whiny sound. It makes them very grouchy. So don't do that. Don't open it yet. You can open it later or do whatever you want with it. You can just gesture to it like this, like, oh, he's so cute, and act like you're petting it, like, oh, it's such a cute little sloth. Oh, and look what it says here. Slow cute. That's funny because aren't sloths slow? You can pretend to not know if you think it will help you. If it annoys them, just drop that. Slow cute. Like the sloth. How adorable. And then you go on to mention the caramel creams, the frosted cupcakes, saltwater taffy. There's a coloring set back there and some fruit snacks. You do want to make sure to mention everything in the basket before you finish. You want to go into detail. If they start to nod off, as they tend to do, you can always reach over and grasp whatever you need to grasp to wake them up, and then you can continue. But don't make it go on too long because they do get sleepy, and especially if it's after lunchtime, you're not going to be able to hold their attention very long. That's something you might want to remember later for other things. So you want to make it quick, but you want to make sure to really fully appreciate the entire gift. Nice. So that is a good tip for something like this. And they may very well give you this because I find that our elderly gentlemen really love these little pre-packaged gifts like this. Not really sure why that is, but they really think these things are the bee's knees for some reason. So with Valentine's Day coming up, if you have a new friend, they may very well give you something like that. I have received so many gift baskets over the year. If I had $1 for every gift basket, I would not need to ever do anything again. Now, sometimes they will give you things that don't really make sense. until you think about it a little bit. For example, they may give you stuff like this, like a sleeve of containers. Now, you may have no use for this, but you don't want to tell them that. Again, you want to follow the same protocol to say, you remembered. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Oh, you got, oh, these are so cute. Oh my goodness. And you gave me, there are 4 of them in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that shows them that you know how to count, which is also useful. Now, you can start to name things that you could do with these containers. Like you could say, oh, I could use this to put my meager, sad collection of jewelry in. I might have enough to fill one. I wish I had more jewelry. I could fill the others as well. And give them a sad face. They really respond to that. Just give them a sad puppy dog face. You know, don't mess up your makeup though. Sad. And you're trying to pull it out of them. Like you're literally trying to pull jewelry out of them. You're like a snake charmer. I want jewelry. I want flashy things. I want gold and diamonds for my containers. You'd be surprised how often that works. Oh my goodness. So you could say, yeah, maybe on your next day out we could get on the tram and go to the jewelry store together. I would love to take a stroll through there with you. Maybe we could get in some of your steps for the day and work out that credit card a little bit. Find something really nice to put in these containers that you so thoughtfully bought for me on our anniversary. It could be that you just met this person. But if they don't know, what's the harm? You see what I'm saying? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. We are helping them find happiness, and that's what's important. Now, here is something that a friend of mine gave me. One of my special moneyed friends, who unfortunately was hit by a bus before we could get married, and I had to start over. These are plastic jewels. Actually, this one is glass. Look at that. It's like a pink diamond. Now, if they give you a diamond this size, I will personally congratulate you because that would be amazing. But they could give you some little things like this. I still don't know what he was trying to say by giving me these, but by that point he was pretty far gone, and most of the time he thought he was a log truck. It was hard to communicate with him, you know, because he was always idling and he couldn't hear me. He thought he was a log truck, and that really pushed my talents to the limits at certain points in our relationship and our alone time, but we won't talk about that. Let's just say that there's no romantic way to mimic an oil change. That's really all I know to say. But he gave me these, and I think he was under the impression that they were real gems. And sometimes you have to remember it's the thought that counts, although sometimes the thought doesn't count for much. At any rate, he thought he was a log truck, and he made an illegal U-turn and got run over by a rider truck. So he is with us no more, and I had to change gears, no pun intended, and move on to someone else. Now, here is something I wanted to show you. This is a sign that you can purchase here at this fine establishment. Isn't that nice? You can get this at Abla Atala. This is a sign that says, "Love each moment." Now, whenever they give you anything that has glitter sparkles on it, it's a perfect opportunity to say, "Oh, if only I had more glitter and sparkle on me. I don't have much that glitters or sparkles. I wish I did, but I just can't afford it. Wouldn't that be nice if I could have a pretty sparkly ring on my finger? If only I knew someone, anyone, who cared enough to help me have what I've always wanted. And if they're really not getting it, you can basically just hit them over the head. I don't mean literally, although sometimes I've about had to. You could just say, I would love it if you would buy me some jewelry. It would make my day. It would make me so happy. Would you like to go jewelry shopping with me? Or shoe shopping? We could get sparkly shoes. Or maybe a pretty sparkly gown. Anything like that. And they love to help. They do. And they would love to be in the company of such a nice person all day. So there's nothing wrong with the sign. The sign is lovely. And of course you can hang it up to show your appreciation. But I'm just saying, anything with glitter on it is a good segue into, I like sparkly things. It's wonderful that you got this. But what if you got me some sparkle that I could wear? Wouldn't that be even better? That would be so nice of you to do that. And then everyone would know what a nice, kind, generous person you are, because I would personally tell them when I hand them one of our wedding invitations. You can always work that in. There's always a way to work in a wedding. In any conversation, they can be talking about their bunions or their recent knee surgery. Knee surgeries are great because you can say, well, now that that knee is all repaired, once you get through with your physical therapy, maybe you could get down on that brand new knee and offer me a beautiful diamond ring. The finger is still there. And then we can live happily ever after. Well, I mean, you would still be here and I would be in whatever estate you happen to own, which I will totally know by that point. You have to do your homework. Now, I know this says Dollar Tree. I think it must be from one of the stores overseas. That is not what the store is called, and you're pronouncing it wrong. I wanted to show you a few more weird things that you might get. These are all representative of gifts that I've gotten at Valentine's Day from these lovely gentlemen at Winsome Willows, where old money goes to die. I told one of them once, now you have to be specific with some of these people. You have to be specific and tell them what kind of things you're looking for. You cannot just say, oh, I would love it if you would buy me some pretty necklaces. If you're if you're being very vague and generic, you can end up with this. And while they are lovely, this wasn't what I meant. I did not mean little plastic beaded necklaces. And if you don't know what they are, they say right here that they are necklaces. And yes, they are shiny. They are kind of sparkly. They are red and pink. And they're lovely. This is 100% not what I meant. I meant one that, comes in a nice little blue box. I did not mean these little 25-cent a piece plastic necklaces. But at any rate, if they give you this, you can always make lemonade out of lemons. You just go, oh, they're beautiful. Oh, thank you so much, my dear moneyed friend. They are so sweet. Oh, but unfortunately, I am allergic to inexpensive jewelry. I can't even hold it very long. I'll break out in a rash. You don't want me to break out in a rash, do you? Oh, if only I could have some expensive jewelry. That will make me even more beautiful than I already am. And that's when you get on the tram and make sure he has his credit card and you go to the jewelry store. It works every time. And when he's not looking, as you ride along on the tram, you can just pitch these out into the road. He will have forgotten about them anyway. Another thing about being a sparkly friend is you want to make sure that you make notes as you go. One of my moneyed friends noticed that I was always making notes in my little sparkly notepad. This is what I got as a gift. Something like this. Little mini pins. Yes. He said, I don't know what you're always writing in that notebook of yours, but it looks like you could use some pins. So here are some rainbow mini pins. Like this. So I thought that was actually kind of sweet. Um, you need to make sure that you're a little more subtle than I was apparently being. You want to make your notes where they don't see you. Just get a small notepad, and you can write in shorthand, or just abbreviations or whatever. You don't want them to see, because then they might get suspicious. And if you're making notes that you don't want them to see, well, that's when it's good to write small, because most of them can't read things that are tiny anyway without their glasses. I told one of them that I was going through some rough times financially. And that was true. That was true. I have had some low lows in my time in between special friends, kind of like I am right now. And Brad and Thad are ready for me to get off their couch, and I get it. I'm working on it. But I mentioned to one of my special friends that things were hard for me, and I was having to use silver eye patches instead of gold under my eyes at night. I struggle. They gave me one of these right here. I don't know if they were trying to make a joke or not. I was kind of hoping, like the Willy Wonka bar, that it would have the golden ticket inside. It was just chocolate. This is a $1 billion bill. It's a bar of chocolate. It's not even worth $1 billion. So when I found that out, I was very sad. Again, you want to be specific, and you need to say things repeatedly, because otherwise they can forget. You can even write a note and pin it on their sweater if you think it will help. Sometimes I do that. So it's good to keep a pocket full of safety pins handy and little scraps of paper, and just write on there, "Buy diamonds." And that way, hopefully, if they see it, they will remember, and they will get diamonds for you. It's worth a shot. So the $1 billion bill was of no use to me. Now let's see. Here we have a bouquet of little cupcakes and hearts, but they're lollipops. Now, let's say that your special friend gave you this here. Now, what would you say? Do this? Yep, that's right. Well, you remembered. Okay, first of all, you need to have more of a sparkle. You need to have more light in your eyes. Oh, you want to act like this is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, like it's the world's biggest engagement ring. It's the keys to the car of your dreams. It's the thing you've always wanted. I like that. And hold it for a moment. Give them a moment to focus on your face. But not too long, because you don't want them to think you're having a stroke. And just, oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, and again, you want to be very specific. You want to point out little details. You look at it and say, oh, look, they're individually wrapped. Oh, and it has a pretty little red bow on it. And the little card is shaped like a heart. Oh, you are so sweet. And this is literally sweet. Look, it has little candies on top of the little cupcakes. Oh, thank you so much. And see, that is when you can come in and give them, a hug where you just kind of, get extra close. They like that. And just linger there for a moment. Yeah, and then just tell them, oh, that's so much better than flowers, because flowers don't last. You know what would last even longer than these? Real estate. Or bonds. Or jewelry. But these are a nice start. Maybe we can enjoy these lollipops while we go sign some papers. I have some if you'd like to sign them. They're blank, and that way you don't have to read anything. I just need your signature. It'll be a fun activity this afternoon instead of bingo. They're always looking for a change. I find that a lot of the gentlemen at the Winsome Willows are tired of bingo. That's when you offer to take them back to their room and show them a new game. That's up to you. All right. Now here's another gift. Let's say that you have a moneyed gentleman who is a little quirky. He takes pride in his quirkiness. He loves to talk about his quirkiness. In fact, he talks about his quirkiness so much that you just want to duct tape his mouth shut, but you can't, because that sets a bad tone for your relationship. And we don't want to go there. Let's say they gave you some little ducks like this. Oh, these are so cute. Look at the little ducks. Now you want to talk about what you have in here. We have 2 yellow ones, 2 pink ones, 2 blue ones, and 2 white ones in here. That's 8 ducks. Oh, it's very sweet. And I bet they float on water. But you know what would float even better than these ducks? You could say, you know, your wife, but we don't want to do that. You know what floats better than these? A 50-foot yacht. You don't have one, do you? You do? You know what I think we should do? I think we should go out for a day on your yacht and take our little ducks with us and see which floats better. We should do that. How about this Saturday? I'm free. I know you're free. How about we go take a ride on your yacht? And then we can discuss our future together. See what I'm doing? You can take any gift and segue it into something so much better. And usually they're so agreeable and they're just so happy to have the company that they'll just go along with it. Not that we're doing it for our own gain. Again, you need to remember, we are servants of the community. We are not in it for the money or the security or any of that. Okay? That, we think of those things as a tool, like the diamond rings and the fancy cars and all that. That is just a segue. It's a bridge to a nice, happy relationship with a friend who just happens to be wealthy. You don't even have to think about their wealth. You can just put that out of your mind. We don't even care that they're wealthy, or you know how much we could stand to inherit, or we don't care about that. No, and anyone who says that that's what we care about, they're just jealous because we have a special friend and they don't. That's all. It's just jealousy. And you got to look out for those like Claire that will sneak them out from under you like that. That will happen sometimes. I am not going to let it get me down. I will be back at it. Let me get behind that register and I'll shake my assets and see what happens. Now here's one. Let's say you got some hot and cold iPads. Now, let's just say that maybe I asked for an iPad and this is what I got. And maybe I'm not sure whether he was trying to be funny or if he just literally didn't know what an iPad was. But they are literally iPads. So you want to talk about how nice and squishy they are? They have this gel in them and gold glitter. So it's perfect for me. It's a lovely thing. So I could say, oh yes, I can use these tonight. I'll put them on my eyes and I can keep my eyes closed and it will help me forget the horrible conditions that I have to live in. And it will help me forget for just a moment how hard my life is because I'm alone and scared and financially unstable and not sure what I'm gonna do. And then maybe they will just start throwing money at you. Oh, don't laugh. It can happen. Yeah, just be ready like with a bucket because you might need it just to catch it, you know. You want to strike while the iron is hot and catch all that money as it comes at you. Because they all the men at Winston Willis, they all keep money in their mattress. They do. So if you ever get to go back to their room, just mention anything you might need money for, and they will totally pull it out from the mattress and give it to you. Oh yeah, and they don't even look. They just grab a wad of bills and just throw it. I don't know what it is with them and throwing money. They would just throw it at you. It's crazy. So use anything to highlight how hard your life is and how sad you are, and make the sad face and hold it for a minute so they can focus. And when you stop talking, they'll look at you. That's what you do. And it's going to be wonderful. Now let me see what else I have. I have one more thing in here. And I know we've gone over a lot of gifts and I really need to get going because my first day is today, and I have to go get my green apron on and get ready to greet some people. And I'm not sure how cash registers work. I'm gonna find out, I suppose. I've never worked in a place like this. It's kind of like an international Fortune 500 company, which is very exciting. I even get an employee discount. I'm not used to discounts. I don't know how that works either, but I'm going to find out. It's very great. I'm going to be okay. And that's what I want all of you to remember too. We're going to be okay. I don't know where you are in your life right now. We're all going to be okay. We're going to come out and we're going to make this a good year. We're going to make this the best year ever. And it doesn't matter, like, if your money gentleman is not completely deceased, and if, his scabby little scullery maid has swooped in and taken him from you. That's okay. That's okay. She can have him. She can have him. Or maybe he'll turn out to be secretly deep in debt, and then she'll be stuck with all the bills. And that's the way I like to imagine it. Like, seeing her getting kicked out of the Copperhead estate and just all these debt collectors bothering her. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see her get away with what she did to me. I mean, what she did to him, not me, because I don't care about the money. I was his best friend for a whole week, and then look what she does. I don't need this hassle. So what if they give you a little container of nail polishes? Well, you want to compliment him on the lovely choices. Don't ask about the price of any gift. Okay, don't mention money. That's another thing. We don't want to ask. We don't want to seem unappreciative. Go, oh, I love these colors. These are perfect for me. Look, red, glitter, purple, dark green. Oh, they're beautiful, and they're from New Color. It's a mini nail polish kit, 4 count. Oh, if only I could afford to have someone who can really do nails, do them. Oh, my old manicure is starting to look bad, and I don't have the money for another one. Oh. And that's when the money starts coming, and that's when you want to be ready to catch it, because it's probably going to go everywhere. I don't know why they throw it, but they totally do. I guess they figure a lot of them don't have much time left, and they have to hurry, so they don't mess around, and they just want to give it like here, and then you can get your manicure money if nothing else. I mean, even if the relationship goes no further, you can get a manicure out of it. So I want to thank you all for coming today. I think this class has done me a lot of good. I'm feeling much better. I feel good to get that jumpsuit off. Finally, I don't have to wear it anymore. I am a free woman, and I am free of all the burdens and the accusations and the news reporters wanting to talk to me, making me out to be some kind of Lolita or something. Well, anybody would be a Lolita when the man is 148 years old. Anyway, I don't care. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find a new man. Even though I can't volunteer at Winsome Willows anymore, I can still go visit. So maybe I will see you guys there, and we can enjoy our happy time together. Yes, Brad? Oh, she's looking for me? Okay, I will be out there in just a moment. Okay, yeah, what? OTC aisle, what is that? I don't know what OTC stands for. She wants me to straighten and organize the aisle. Why would anybody want to do that? I thought I was going to be up front greeting customers with my radiant, beaming smile. How am I going to meet anybody if I'm having to organize shelves? Well, I guess we all have to start somewhere.